Hi there, I'm David Hunt, owner of GameMasters Guild, and today I'm going to revisit and update an older video that you might find very important, and that is how to spot fake Pokemon cards. And if you're watching this video, I don't need to tell you how crazy the Pokemon scene has gotten lately. If you watch the beginning of this video, you're going to see my case chock full of all sorts of different Pokemon expansions. But nowadays, it's hard for me to keep in stock the new stuff, much less get the previous set that was just out. My shelf looks bare. It is absolutely crazy, and you need to know whether or not your Pokemon cards are going to be authentic. Now, briefly, I'm going to touch upon a couple of things that you can really watch out for. First of all, if you want to watch this previous video, click up here. I'll have a little card you can click on, and it'll take you right to this video, and you can watch this video in its entirety. But I'm going to real quick just skim over a couple of things just as a little bit of a refresher. First of all, always buy your Pokemon cards from a reputable source. Basically, a friendly local game store. Now, with a friendly local game store, you always get cards that are coming straight from the distributors. So we're basically getting the product direct, or about as direct as we can. You know, Pokemon sells it to distributors, distributors sells it to us, and so our stuff is authentic. So when in doubt, go seek out your local game store no matter where you are. They're going to have the real deal. Now, of course, as always, not all game shops are created equal, so if something seems off, you should probably ask around. But generally speaking, most game stores are on the up and up, and you don't have anything to worry about. Now, other stores, big box stores that aren't game stores, or other chain game stores that maybe sell video games and Pokemon cards, for instance, typically their product is authentic as well. However, you have to worry about returns. At a local game store, typically you don't have a high level of returns with that kind of thing, and usually, since we're in the know, we're the specialists on the subject, we know whether or not someone's trying to hustle us when they bring something back, or they want to get their money back on a product that's still sealed when they bought it just the other day. We know something's kind of fishy. Whereas bigger stores or other chain stores might not be able to sense when there's something wrong and might take back product and unknowingly, perhaps the actual product's been removed and replaced with something else. So you always have to be aware of that at big box stores and chain stores, because they don't have the same level of commitment to ensure that the product they're getting back is actually the product they're getting back. Scams happen all the time, and it's just that at local game stores, because we run on a shoestring budget, we watch very carefully what comes back into the store, and then because it's what we do, we kind of sniff out if someone's trying to hustle us. Now, flea markets and thrift stores, you really want to stay away from. If you want to gamble and buy some of that, you can, but remember, these places are where you're more likely to find the counterfeits. And not that they're knowingly selling counterfeits, but they find a bunch of Pokemon cards online and in booster packs, they know it's the hot thing, so they buy it. And then people come by, and at the flea market, they buy some of these Pokemon packs because their kids want them, or you want them. Maybe you're just getting into it, don't know what you're looking for, and then later someone tells you after you spent hundreds of dollars that all your cards are fake. And I had a gentleman come in the store about a month ago with a stack of Pokemon cards like that, and it turns out only about that many were real. Quite unfortunate. But then again, if you don't know what to look for, if you haven't been in the game long enough, you might not realize it. And that's another thing, is that friendly local game stores, like ours, know what to be on the lookout for. And again, it's not like people are trying to rip you off, but they're just trying to sell the name, and you're looking to buy the name Pokemon, and that's what they're doing. But you really have to watch out. If you want the authentic thing, especially if you are collecting to invest or resell, this is super, super important. And even not, if you're collecting Pokemon in order to play, and you're playing in tournaments, if you get caught with a bogus card, you could be ejected from the tournament, and you definitely don't want that, especially when you have made travel plans and you've paid money to go. You don't want to be kicked out of a tournament because you have a counterfeit card. Okay, so we've covered that real quick, and some of that I hadn't covered in the previous video, so it's kind of a little extra. However, that's not all. Real quick, I'm going to go ahead and cut, and what we're going to do is we're going to go and actually take a look up close at some fake cards and some real cards. And at the end of the video, I've definitely got something new that I'm going to show you where you can easily determine whether or not your cards are real or fake, in addition to all these other cues, clues, and tips. So let's cut and check it out. Okay, so let's take a look at the differences between real Pokemon cards versus fake Pokemon cards. Now, these packs have already been opened, and the fake Pokemon pack is on my left, the real Pokemon pack is on my right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link up here at the top that you can click on to check out my previous video where I go over in detail the differences between fake Pokemon packs and real Pokemon packs. But needless to say, you can already see that on these two, something definitely looks fishy because you've got the silver color break here at the top and the bottom, whereas your regular Pokemon packs aren't going to have that. Of course, you don't want to just take one aspect of any of this information and judge a pack or card fake. You have to look at multiple things. Like, if this pack came from a completely sealed box of Pokemon, direct from the distributor, direct from your FLGS, and this was inside your pack of shrink wrap booster packs, then it's going to be a misprint. However, you pick this up at a yard sale or flea market, ordered it online as a single pack or maybe a bunch of them, and they come loose, then you probably got a fake pack. But anyways, take a look at my other video right here, and I'll talk at length about the differences between these two packs. All right, now let's go ahead and crack these packs open. Fake pack first. All the fake stuff's on my left, all the real stuff's on my right. You open this fake pack up, something seems weird. Again, a lot of times cards will have an improper orientation inside the packs, upside down or facing the wrong way. Whereas a real pack does not. They're all going to be facing the right direction. Also, you're going to get a code card in your Pokemon pack. And this code card gets you packs online. Fake cards, you're not going to have that at all. You're not going to have a code card in here. Now, it's possible over time they may start putting counterfeit code cards in here, but I have yet to see it, although it's a potential to happen. So just kind of watch out. All right. Now, this next thing, this is one of the new ways for you to determine whether or not your Pokemon cards are real or fake. So let's get a couple of samples here. Let's get Bergmite, Starling Megaphone, and Gumi. Those are going to be our cards right now. These are the real ones here on this side. There we go. Real Pokemon cards. And let's get my fake Pokemon cards here on the left. We're going to use Gyarados, Sacred Ash, and let's do Luxio. There we go. All right. So, fake cards on my left, real cards on my right. All right, so now you're going to need a flashlight. Sufficient brightness, but most flashlights will do. Preferably an LED flashlight. I really like using an LED flashlight because they're nice and bright. Okay, so what you want to do is, let's take a look at our foil Gumi. Let's compare that to our foil Gyarados. Now, they're both extensively foil. Now, part of the giveaway on this here is that Gumi is a reverse foil, so the picture isn't foil, but the rest of the card is, whereas Gyarados is completely foil. Now, there are other cards where the picture will be foil, but the rest of the card is not, so that's a regular hollow foil. Now, some cards are completely foil, so that is a new thing that is happening, so you want to kind of look out for that. That doesn't necessarily mean if a card's all foil, it doesn't necessarily mean it's fake. However, there's always that potential. Again, you don't want to take any one particular instance and say, hey, this card's a fake just because it's completely foil, or because the coloration on the back is a little different, or just because the card is slightly off center, it's a fake. You don't want to do that because you need to look at a lot of different things to determine if a card's fake or real. You got to look at all the clues together and take a card as a whole. Okay, so now let's take a look with a flashlight. With this foil Gumi, we're going to shine the light up behind it. You can see I got a pretty bright light there, and the light Does not go through the card at all. Not even on the non-foil part. But now if we go over to Gyarados, look at that. The light shines right through it. I can even see the Pokeball on the other side. Look at that, completely. You can see the logo and everything. So the fake card, the light shines right through. And the Gumi, nothing. Not a thing, not a thing. So, real foils, the light will not penetrate. Fakes, the light goes right through it. Now, let's look at trainer cards. We got Startling Megaphone, which is real. We got Sacred Ash, which is fake. Let's turn on our light and check it out. Okay, the light this time on regular cards, the light does go through. And then you should go over to Sacred Ash, the light goes through also. But did you see the difference? There's a pattern on Startling Megaphone. And what that is that's the glues inside of it. This is very distinctive. Fake cards, you're not going to see that pattern. It's obvious that Sacred Ash is a fake card, whereas Startling Megaphone is real. And I wanted to use a couple trainers because they're slightly different cards than foil Pokemon and regular Pokemon. Now let's take a look at regular Pokemon. What are we going to get? How's the light going to behave going through Luxio versus Bergmite? Well, since Luxio is an electric Pokemon, there's no telling what could happen. But let's see what happens. All right. Okay. So Bergmite, you see the light goes through, and he has that glue pattern. And now we're going to transfer the light over here to Luxio. And look at that. The light goes through, no pattern. Yep, the only thing you can see is the Pokeball on the other side and the actual name Pokemon on the back. Now, if you go over here, of course, to Bergmite, you can see the Pokeball, you can still see the name, but that glue pattern is very distinctive and a dead giveaway that Bergmite is a real card. Luxio is not a real card. So that's how you use the flashlight test to determine whether or not your Pokemon cards are real or fake. But wait, that's not all. I have another way for you to determine whether or not your Pokemon cards are real or fake. So let's go ahead and pull out the next thing. Okay, the next thing you want to do is get yourself a jeweler's lens or a magnifying glass, preferably a magnifying glass that's lit, or better yet, something like this where it has a magnifying glass and a small microscope built into it. These are relatively inexpensive. This actually has a light and a focus wheel. The focus wheel is right in the center. The light button is on the left-hand side. And this is a Micronta 30 power illuminated microscope and 8 times magnifier. You can find these at office supply stores. You can find them on science websites. You can find them probably in your local big box store. Now what you want to do is we're going to be examining the edges of these Pokemon cards. And there's a dead giveaway to determine whether or not your card is fake or real. And it doesn't matter what edge of the card you look at, the result will be the same. Lopunny here is a real card and Heliolisk is the fake card. And we're going to examine these edges. I'm going to be examining the long side of these edges, and I'm going to put on a microscope, and we're going to see what happens. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the magnifying lens part of this device, and I'm actually going to be looking at the edge of this Heliolisk, which is the fake card, and I'm looking for a black line that actually runs parallel to the edge of the card. However, first of all, it doesn't translate very well on camera, so I'm going to have to try something else. And also, even myself looking at it through the magnifying glass, I think this particular magnifying glass is underpowered for what I need. So let's skip ahead to the microscope. Okay, so we're going to take Lopunny here, which is a real card, and we'll put it up to the magnifying glass. It's going to take me just a minute to kind of adjust this to the camera because I'm doing it freehand. Now, normally you'd be able to see this a lot easier on your own. Okay, and now we're looking at it, and you can see running parallel to the card, along the edge, you can see a black line. And it doesn't matter what edge you look at, there's a black line that runs along the edge of the card and that's the glue inside the card, and that's how you can tell a real card from a fake card using a magnifying glass or a small handheld microscope like this. And let's get again and take a good look at that there, and you can see there's a black line right there, and that's what you're looking for. All right, now we're done with low punning. We're going to put them away, and let's look at Heliolisk now. Let's get it edge on, and I'll make some adjustments here. And let's line up for the camera, and we're going to see what we can see. What are we going to see? Oh, I already see it. There is no black line. See how white that edge is? There is no black line on the edge of Heliolisk. So Heliolisk is definitely a fake card. If you got real Pokemon cards, they're going to have that black line, and that's how you can tell. All right. Hope that video was helpful for you, and I hope you found out some good information. And that last trick is a surefire way to determine whether or not your Pokemon cards are counterfeit or fake. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a novice or an experienced player. Don't be ashamed to ask. I have players from Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, and Magic all asking us, if they have a question, if they don't feel something's right, they come and ask us. And it's better to ask and be sure than to not say anything because you might be embarrassed to and then get stuck with a fake card or get a raw trade. So you definitely don't want to do that at all. And remember, your local FLGS, be it us or someone else, we're the experts. We're the ones that can help you out with determining whether or not your cards are going to be counterfeit or fake, and we're not going to steer you wrong at all because we want your business. We're small operations, we're not chains, we're not big box stores. We're here for the players, and we're here for you. So if you have any trouble, go check out your local FLGS, and all of us will be happy to help you out. And I guess that's pretty much it. I'm Dave Hunt, owner of GameMasters Guild, telling you to stay safe, play great games, and I'll see you real soon.